The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
Tua to throw right away. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stuff the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Taken in at the 22. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers? 1
touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
The numbers on the ground last week for Hubbard. 15 carries, 62 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked to him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Throwing, Young. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 2nd and 6. A run now for the rookie out of Georgia. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here's Madison running on first down. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Here's Tua. Throw caught by Achane. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. When you look at this defense, they come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina, and on we go to 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion. And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Now here's Young. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Young will set to throw. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. To throw, Young. Over the middle, it's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. 2nd down and 4. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This defense not budging, back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That one complete to Hill. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who was shaken up on that last play. 3rd and 19.
Looking to pass. Tua. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Panthers now set to take over offensively.
They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Young to throw it.
Looking underneath and finding Hubbard.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. Looking to throw, Young.
Short throw hauled in by Trimble.
No gain on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down and less than a yard.
A give up the middle. Hubbard
trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Dolphins offense returning to the field.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua, open man, Westbrook-Akine.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. In motion, Hill. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. 6-yard return after a punt of 48.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Carolina offense about ready to go.
And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On play action, Young. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. From the shotgun, it's Young. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Now 2nd and 5.
Tua going to throw. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now Tua. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. He'll take it at the 42. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Young to throw it.
They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here's Young. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 3.
Tua sets up to pass it. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. From the gun, it's Tua.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Short throw to Smith. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And again, it's Tagovailoa.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hill going to go in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Tua going to give this to Wright. And he's going to have a first down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun.
He'll dump this off to Achane.
Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment defense.
Defensively, maybe a little too fired up there for a 3rd down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer, still did it anyway.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Madison.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Panthers offense and Chuba Hubbard set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. A short throw hauled in by Trimble.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
2nd down and 6 now. Now Young. He'll dump this one off to Hubbard.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Not too much to show you scoring-wise in that first half. Just a couple of field goals make up all the scoring. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're close to a breakthrough, and things should open up as we move along.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Panthers offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game.
Young now. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Straight ahead with Hubbard. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Now Young. That is caught. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Young. And his throw is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now here's Young.
That's taken in. It's Xavier Legette.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
On the give, this is Hubbard. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
False start. Offense.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They'll send a tight end in motion right.
Right back to Hubbard.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized.
That one complete to Liggett.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Young off the bootleg. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Throwing, Young. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Young with it, 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play.
We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Here's Tua.
Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Tua to throw again. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium.
3rd and 2. They'll try and run for this with Wright.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Encroachment defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Looking to pass. Tua. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
In motion, Hill. That's out to Hill, right side complete. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to first and goal. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he
is in. Touchdown, Miami. Alexander Mattison, his first touchdown here of the new campaign.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will make this a 4-point game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Mattison. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
it's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation.
There's a short throw caught by Sanders.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Young to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Tua. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. That one unable to develop. Never got going. A loss of a couple. And it's 2nd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that one is knocked down, but I don't think it's going to matter. The defense looked like they jumped.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Tua.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
Ball start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Oh, that is well read on the backside. And he'll be met well behind the line of scrimmage.
Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
On play action,
Here's Tua. Complete to right. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami as we've got the final quarter upon us. We get ready to start the 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Still 3rd down.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty. Young will set to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Well, they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Here's Young. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Young to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. To throw, Young. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers, and a 1st down here. They'll give this to Hubbard running right. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Oftentimes we play as an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, How about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They go play action. Young. He'll get this complete to Sanders, the tight end.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Here's Young from the shotgun. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Out of the gun, it's Young. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the 1st down. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking middle, and that's complete. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Here's Achane to start the drive.
And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Tua. He's going to launch it for Washington. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the sideline he goes. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. 92 yards.
And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And the Panthers coming out now.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Throwing, Young.
That one complete till again.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Now inside the 25.
And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
And now they are in prime position, 1st and goal after the interception and return. They'll look to make it pay off for 6 points.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
They'll work the middle here with Wright.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
Achane will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was Devon Achane who finished things off with a touchdown reception.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Looking to throw, Young. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Young. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Miami set to take over.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Miami, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.